So hello everyone, welcome to the project. In this project, we are going to build a GUI application with the help of tkinter in Python with name Crypto Coin Planner. So Crypto Coin Planner, as you have built earlier, a budget planner. In budget planner, we used to have a budget. We used to write down it on diary. We used to write down different expenses, profits and loss that we wanted to cover and finish. Similarly, this is a crypto coin planner. In this, you don't need to do anything. Your Python will do everything. He will fetch data from different values, different sites, bring down the data, convert it into required form, and then give you back the output. So basically, we would be having some requirements. We will be required API key, APIs. We need to learn about the APIs. We need to web scrape the sites and data, and JSON and request will applications, or you can say libraries, will also used with the Python. So to convert our data into the applications that we wanted. And tkinter, this is all our application or library of the Python where you can convert text, or you can say your code, into a GUI, that is a user interface, graphical user interface application. So tkinter helps you to achieve this. Now let's get into the project. So our project is divided into three parts. The first is the fetching data, the second is the building functionality, and the third one is the designing. So fetching data, as I have told earlier, we need to go to the site only once when we are writing about the code. When we will give the URL, then we don't need to do anything, Python will do that. So our Python needs to go to the site. He needs to fetch the data, collect the data that you wanted, convert it into required form, means whatever values we wanted, like we just wanted to know the required Bitcoin in we invested, not all the Bitcoins that are available on the site. So we will get their values, their previous values, like 7 days previous value, 24 hours previous values, and their new recently updated values, that what is the current value of the crypto coin. And then it will keep the required or compare the values that you have invested, like number of coins you were having or the amount that you have invested, and then tell you about the profit or loss that you are going to have. It means for some Bitcoins on some time of instance you may be in the profit, and on the other instance you may be at the loss. So it will just tell you that when you are at profit, so that you can earn more, and when you are at loss, so that you can cover that up. So first is fetching data, then building functionality. This part will be the calculation part and building the GUI interface. And the third part is the designing part. So designing part is basically so that we can understand easily. We will add some more features here, like different values, different functions, to give us the red color values when they are in loss, and to give us the green color values when they are profit. So all that. Now I will be explaining you about the APIs, that how does the API work, what is an API, how do we are going to use it, and you will also have to make your own API key. You need to get your own API key, and I will make you I will just give you a way so that you can get your own API key in just a free. So this was about the API. API is basically application programming interface. Every site has an API, and you need to have an API key to get the data from that site. Now this is the tkinter library. It comes by default installed in the Python, and we will be learning different functions about the tkinter, that when to use label, when to use buttons, and how to apply the different features of the tkinter, like different colors, different fonts. Everything we are going to cover in it. So it will be going a fantastic app, and it will just give you a very good learning boom in your Python career. Everyone, in this module we are going to build a crypto coin planner. So in this planner you can just view all your crypto coins on one platform. They will just give you the planner will tell you about the profit and loss that you are facing with the crypto coins, and it will also calculate so many things for you that you wanted to do. So this is an awesome platform. It will help you to just calculate everything, plan everything, and it may also give you a favored thing, that in which crypto coin you should make your interest, means where to invest and where not to invest. Now coming to the crypto coin, to analyze this data, we need to have a API information. We will be using a API key to access this data, and we are accessing this data from a coinmarketcap.com. This is the largest website for the crypto coins. It gives you a valid information about the crypto coins, and there are too many crypto coins here, so that you can just know that what is happening and not. Now a crypto coins, there are large number of crypto coins available. For example, there are bitcoins, there are so many other crypto coins that are needed. and we will be accessing this data with the API key. See, no website will directly come to your home page and give you that data. So to get the data, we need to go to the website, log in there, access the data, and then come back. Now, how will we doing that? How will we taking the data, and how will we working with the API key? I will all tell you here. But before that, we need to understand what is actually a API. For example, you can just consider that when you make a request to the database or to a server, then whichever platform, independent of your web browser that you are using, independent of operating system that you are using, they are able to just give you back the information that you needed. But this database is not designed to give information to everyone. For example, if you are giving information to Apple or to a Chrome or to an Android, to Windows, you need different data for it, or a different software to give send them the request back and to interact with them. But all this happens with an API. So database actually never interacts with the operating system or the browser that you are using. It is the API which interacts, which analyzes the data and give you back the request. So how does this API work? So first of all, the full form of the API is Application Programming Interface. Now this works as a middleman between the users and the server. For example, the API actually starts working when a client application initiates an API call to retrieve information. This process is also called as request. Now, the request is processed from an application to the web browser. So, you can consider here that this application or this web browser actually goes to the API to give it the request, and after this API have a uniform resource identifier, and this identifier analyze everything, that whether the requests are valid, whether the someone who wants the request, he is not a threat, he is not hazardous for the database, everything it just validates here. After this, it will send the response to a server, the similar request the API makes. Now database get this request from the API, and then after processing or fetching the data, it gives back to the API. Now API have the data that the user wants, and API again send the data back to the browser or the operating system you are using. Now in this way, API actually works as a middleman between all this. So in today's, why this API is so important, means why we cannot directly communicate with the database and take our data, why we need to put a API there. So the reason is that we are using an API. API offer a security design, a good security design by working as a middleman. So it protects the database from the endpoint. Everyone wants protection because there are so many hazardous threats that are available to the database that any user or any hacker could come, and if not able to steal the data, he may you can say destroy the data or make database down, and everything could happen, or make the database crash, make the server crash. So these are a potential loss for the company. So to protect their database, they use the API key. Now actually the API offers many more functionalities. For example, database need not to worry whether it's a Mozilla Firefox or a Chrome or Internet Explorer or Safari that is asking for the request. A database also need not to worry about the operating system from which you are just asking the request, whether it's your laptop, it's your phone, everything is handled here by the API. So API not only help them to communicate with the users. For example, two databases can also communicate with each other. So to make them communicate with each other, this is all possible with the help of API, because one database may not understand the language of the other database. So to do this, companies uses the API to interact with each other's information. Now this is about the security. Now everywhere this is used here. For example, if you go to a website, they offer you to log in with your Google account, Facebook account, Twitter account, LinkedIn account. This is all possible with the APIs, because they just communicate with your Google account API to give them your information to them in a secured manner. So Google or the accounts that you are trying to log in, they just offer the information in a very secured manner, and after getting the information, you are easily logged in. Even today, their third party payment processing is also used. For example, you go somewhere, you just take out your phone and you can pay there directly. So this also uses the API. Now consider that if you have gone somewhere to a restaurant for making payments, and you just need your card to make the payment. You give your card, you give your card number, and the payment is processed. Now the considering that the machine that is using your card number to process the data, they are not asking from you about the account number. Why? Because API offers them all the details that are needed in the device for processing, and after the processing work is over, they just terminate the callback. So due to this added features, banks are also now less worried from the hackers that they may steal your data or steal your account. Now this is everything happens even when you compare different policies, like different insurance policies together from different websites, or different hotels together from different websites. They just show you everything. So this is also possible with the API. A API build a database, then they, with the help of API, they communicate to different database. Like different hotels are built from different cities. They just communicate them. They will fetch the data that they wanted, again process it, again give it to the database. Then this database will come again here, and it will give you the request to the users that they wanted. And in this way, different database communicate from a database, and then database communicate back to the user. So this is the biggest thing that the database user. Even Google Maps also uses a API. When you are tracking someone who is delivering your packages, or when you are tracking your delivery packages, it uses a API to do this. API just track the data, fetch the information, give it back to the user. So API makes your communication with the databases, different servers, and different users very easy and in a protected way, because it is working as a middleman to do that. Now this was about the API. For example, let's look at an example. You can see this is the API of Amazon API Gate. There are so many things that are available here, like IoT devices, private applications, connected users, web and mobile applications. They all go to the API gateway to get the data from here, which is located here in the database, or to use their services. Now after coming into the API gateway, it just take care that the request that is coming is valid, it is not a potential threat. If it's everything is fine, it will from your behalf go to the database or services, collect the data, come back to the API and send you back. So these databases have never interacted with you. They just interact to their API interface or application programming interface, and this interface only communicate with you. But you just get the request and send the request, so it feels to us that we are actually communicating with the databases and servers, but it's never. So this was about the APIs. Now how to get the API? For example, if you just get down to this page and coming here, you will see a crypto API. You need to click on this, get your account and get your API key. So when you will create an account like I have created, you will get an API key generated by them, and this is a free version of the plan. So here only a limited credits are given to us, but these are sufficient for the personal use. Now when you will come to this, you will get this API key in this manner. Never show your API key to anyone, because if he has your API key, he can do anything with your API. This is the biggest threat, but we are using a free version of it. We should not get worried about it. Also, you can regenerate your key or disable your key whenever you don't want, whenever you find that your key is being open to everyone. Now when you get this key, just copy it and come to it. Now every site has a different website, and there are different things, like after question mark there is a different parameters that we need to give. I have given here parameter start from 1, so it will start from ID is equals to 1, and I have given here limit 5. It means 5 IDs will be total be updated here. For example, if we will go to check the last ID number, it would be 5 here. We cannot just look it like this. Now after this there is another parameter that is convert USD. It means every value would be shown to us in the USD. And now here we need to give our API. When you will process this, information will come in this manner, but this is a minify information. This is not a beautify information. There are two types of information. For example, if I will make it to 1, so it will just show me about the ID is equals to 1, that is the Bitcoin. Now it will give all the information related to the Bitcoin, but this is a minified information. Now minified and beautify only has a one difference, that is in the spaces. For example, this is a minify. If you will go to a beautifier, like this is the beautifier, give that information, you can just beautify the JavaScript. So here you can see that there are more spaces and it's easy to look here or access the information. But computer will not find any differences because this difference is only for us. It is not for the computer or the compiler. So you can go find any beautifier available on the internet and just paste your data there. Like if I go like in this manner, I will copy it and paste it here. Now I will beautify it. So you can see this is the I have only given one limit, so I got the information about the first ID, that is the Bitcoin, and they have shown me so many information. Like I am having its price, its percentage change in last 1 hour, in 24 hours, 7 days, everything. Market capital also, so many information is available here. Now this is a status. It just tells us about the time, so we don't need to take care of that. So if you are having your API key, you can generate the data, get the data. So in this manner, we are going to get the data for our crypto coin planner and build our GUI application. So all this here, in the next video, we will start building the or accessing the data and use it in our code. Arrange a method to get the data for our crypto coin. But what is the other requirement? We also have to fetch the data, because neither this data is useful for us and also this data is not useful for us because this is not showing the value. We need to just go and search every value that we wanted, and some unwanted values are also there that we don't need to worry about them. So to get the data for our crypto coin planner, we need to convert it into our required form, and to do that we need to use Python. So now you just create a file, Python file with any name you wanted. I have created a cryptocoin.py file. Now we need to make some imports. For example, our first import will be import request. So many times it will happen that you may not have a request library. For example, you need to install request on your Python module. To do that, just you need to run a simple command, that is pip install request. So go to the terminal, open your command prompt terminal, just run the command pip install request, and request will be downloaded on your Python, and then you can import them whenever you want it. Now the second import will be a JSON import. So we need to import JSON file. We are importing this JSON file to convert our data into a JSON format that will be needed for the processing purpose. So JSON actually has inbuilt functions which gives us the data when fetched from the request module. So now this is our request, this is our JSON. Now we need to start fetching our data. To fetch the data, first create a variable that will be has the input as a link. So our variable will be API request. Now this variable will have a function, that is request. We will use this dot get function. So there are two types of method. The first method is called the get method, and the second method is called the post method. Now when you use get method, when we just want to get the data, for example, I am not interfering with the page. If I use a get method, so here is the crypto page, I will not change any data. I will not change this value. I will only process the data on my compiler, but I am not going to affect this website. But when you use a post data, many a time we use the post data. The post method is used when you want to change the database. For example, you are affecting the database, you are changing the values, you are changing the functions, you are just changing the website if you are having a post method. And you can consider the example when you make a login into any account, you use the post method. Post method is more secured and used for a password when you are sending or receiving a password and OTPs and everything. That is worked with the post method. But when you are just wanted to check the website, I am going to any URL, I am just checking the video and coming out of it, I only use the get method. I don't need a post method because post method is a more secured way, but get method works for the fetching data faster than the post. So these are the two methods. There are many more methods that we'll be using, but let's first fetch our data. So when you come here, all you need to do is just enter the website here that with the API key we are having. For example, this is my website, and I will try to copy this. We need to copy it. After copying this website, we will come back and paste it here. So now we have the website, and we are going to request this website, that is the current one, to fetch data for us. Now limit is equals to 1, so I will change it to back to 5. That will be more easier. Now coming back here, I need to load this data. So to load the data, all I need to do is call my JSON module. So I will again create a variable, but with the name only API. So we can just give it a name JSON to require to remember it more fastly. Now we will go to the JSON.load. This will load the file that we wanted. Now we will get our variable, that is API request, and with it we will give the function that is content. So actually this function JSON will going to load the content inside this variable, that is the API request variable, which is fetching a request from this website. So API request is fetching this website data. Our JSON variable is loading a JSON file or the content inside this website. So this is our first task that we have done. Now the second thing comes, that is we need to mention some coins here. So first I am going to mention 2 coins. It's better to go to the website and search from there. So we will coming here, going to the number 1 and number 2. So here you can see there are 2 points. The first one is with the name BTC and the third one is with the name ETH. So ETH and BTC are actually their code. You can say a ID name with which you may get them. So we also want this BTC. So BTC, and another one is ETH. Yeah, the other one is ETH. ETH. These are our coins name. If you are not able to, if you are confused between the coin name, just you can go there and convert, just use it as 2. Let's make it as 5. So this will be giving us the data about the 5 Bitcoin, because we have given the name as limit is equals to 5, and then we will beautify it and then find the ID name. For example, if this contains the data about the single coin, and you can get the symbol here, that is this is the symbol BTC, and we are using the same symbol to identify our coin. Okay. So sometimes it may be just you need to refresh this page to make that work, because this page is actually linked with this page. To get the symbol, all you just need to do is take out this data. You may copy it and go to the mini JavaScript, or you can say beautifier, and paste it. Then beautify. Now you have all the ID names that you wanted. For example, for the first ID we have BTC, for the second we have ETH, Ethereum. So it's better to search them by their symbol, and that is looks more professional in systematic way. For example, BNB. Now this was about the names or the coin symbol that we would be using. Now how do we utilize them? For example, we are making trying to fetch the data. So you can consider we have the content here. Now to just fetch the data, all we can do is print out that data from the variables in the similar manner. For example, first we will go to print, then we will go to the variable that has all the content in it, and that is API JSON. Now inside API JSON, we need to go inside that step by step. So first step would be, you can see here, if we come inside this, then we need to first get inside to the data. We are not worried about the symbol. So these are there are two dictionaries available. The first one is the status inside a dictionary, and the second one is the data which has a list inside it. So we need to get inside the data. So you can just copy it. To get inside any dictionary, we need the dictionary name, or that is the name of the key value inside that. So our first key is the data. Now we are inside the data. Second thing comes here. Inside data, I need to get inside this symbol. You can just get inside any ID number, but ID number or name changes very frequently. So no, the name does not change, but ID number changes frequently because the list just gets upside down. So we will go to this symbol inside the symbol. So I will just go inside the symbol. So here we are having our symbol that we wanted to use it. Now this is the symbol that we are using. After the symbol, all we need to do is get inside what we wanted. For example, we are inside the symbol. Now we wanted to go inside the quote, and inside that quote I will go inside the USD, because this is another dictionary inside that, and inside this dictionary there is the price. So we are just getting the price. We want the price. So we will come here inside symbol. There is the quote. So we are going inside quote dictionary. Now after quote there is USD dictionary. Now inside USD dictionary there is the price. So this price, actually we want this price. So we will come inside the price. Okay. Oh yeah. So it will be JSN, and this will be also API JSN. So we done it. Now we will run our file. So when you will run this, what is happening, that first API JSON, it will fetch all the data, then it will go inside every dictionaries that we have given. For example, first it will search the dictionary that is which have the key as data. Then it will go inside that dictionary, it will search the dictionary which has symbol as its data. Then it will get inside this, and it will search as quote dictionary with the key name quote. Then it will again get inside that, it will go inside the USD. Again inside that dictionary it will go inside the price. So in this manner there are so many dictionaries available inside each and every dictionary. For example, if you can come here, we have first a content file. So this brackets start, this is our content file. Inside this content file we are going inside data. Now inside this data we are going inside this dictionary. So this is the first dictionary that we wanted. Okay, so here you can find it, this is the list that is there. So to access a list we need one more command, that is the 0. So we will come here. To access a list we need the number. So here we come up with the number. So okay, we got the data, that is the value, that is the price of the first Bitcoin, and it is BTC. This is our first Bitcoin that we wanted, and we got. Also if we try to get the symbol of this, so for example I will copy this. Now I will try to get the symbol differently. First we were trying to get the symbol together, but this time we will bring them as a separate entity. The first one will be the symbol, and the second one will be the price. So this is the symbol, here is the price. We'll save it and now run it. Yeah, okay. So we will copy this key from here only. ID, and the symbol key is here. So it's better to copy them because they should be looks exactly the same. There should be no error with the key. Now we also not need the code because we are not going inside that. So we can directly work with the symbol. So here you can see we got the both the values, that is the BTC and the price also. Now this is for the first thing. Also we can do for the second coin also. So we will go back here, come back and just do it for the second coin. So our second coin was with the first one. I need to means here my ID will be the first one because we are going from one key to another. For example, we are inside this list data and now this has the first list element, that is the ID, this is the 0th element. Now we will go to the second thing. Here is the second element because this is a list, so second element start with the ID number 1027. Now if I will just change my list number from 0 to 1, it will show me. So here we are doing for the second thing and now it has shown us. So this is for the BTC, that is for the ETH. Now what happens if we are searching them by the symbol? Means the searching part is not complete here. So to search them by the symbol, all we need to do, bring them inside a for loop. So I will try to write a loop here because we are having a limit from 5. So our range will also be between 0 to 5. So here it's from 0 to 5, the last element does not comes. Now I don't need the second one because now I will be giving them as a I, the inside thing will be my I. Now we need to just shift this, tab, again get back here, here also tab. Also we need another loop, that is for coin in. Now what we are doing, we are searching this particular coin inside the list coins. So here it's coin. Now we need an if statement. So this print statement will come inside the if statement, that is if, and no need for the print. So we will remove this print and try to check that whether this element is actually the coin that is given here or not. So it will be equals to coin. Now we will give a tab here and just bring it down, copy it, Control C, and try to print this using a symbol. So here what we have done, a symbol. So we have brought this inside two for loops and a if loop. So these for loops will run together and the if statement will check whether the symbol that we have given is actually the coin that we wanted or not. So if that is inside the coin, it will print it will get inside this if loop and print this for us. But if it is not inside that, we will need to move further, means our print statement will not work. Now here we will give a line so that we can differentiate it. Now I will run this. Okay, so this is our print statement that we were using, and you can see we have find out BTC and ETH. Now if I will change the ID name, for example my coin name from ETH to this ADA, that is the Cardano, it should work for the Cardano. Now I will make it ADA, then it will start showing me the value for the Cardano, and run it. So here you can find that the crypto value of the ADA is $2 and for the BTC it is 5 point something dollars. Now we don't need this extra large amount. I think 4 values are sufficient for us to convert this USD value into Indian rupees value, according to the Indian rupees value. So all we need to do is bring this value inside a format function. So I will again give a tag. Now we will give here use our format function. So format function in Python actually formats the value up to the decimal values that you want. So if I want a decimal value up to 5 places or 4 places, I will just give 4F or 5F here, and use the format function. So this is the format. So you can see now if I will try to print this, all I need to do is run this file. So you can see now we have only got the value up to 4 decimal places, not more than that. So this is sufficient for us. This value is sufficient for us. Now we have done here. We will write our next function about how to completely fetch the data. Means this is not the complete information that we wanted. We need to add some profits and loss also. How to fetch data, because I have told you how to use API key to get the data, then convert it into JSON, then get the data according to your required format. But we will not stop till here. Means this is not the actually what we want a planner. Means if you compare it, what we want to build, we want a crypto coin planner. So crypto coin planner, for this our first requirement is we are not concerned only with the value of the current Bitcoin, because yes, we need the current Bitcoin value, but also we need a comparison that how many Bitcoins do we have. Also we need another comparison that what is the difference between them. So first we will concentrate that how we can design that how many Bitcoins we have and what are their current values. So to do that we need another dictionary. Our data should be coin data should be in a dictionary format, and when we will go here, you can just load a dictionary. Now here first I will load the symbol. The symbol is the data that we want to create. So our symbol is BTC, that is our first coin that we have created. Now after this I need the amount owned, means number of coins that I have. So I will just write amount. So this amount is actually should be in the numbers. So I will make something like amount number. Now amount number, for example, for BTC, like Bitcoin it is. So I will take 10 coins. I am having a 10 Bitcoins. This is my amount number. Now I also need to add that was the price. So this is the price at which actually I bought the coin. Means this was my previous price. Like for example, if you have bought the coins in January and then now you are comparing it in February, so there would be a price difference between them. So let's take that currently the Bitcoin was having a price. For example, if we go here, Bitcoin has now a price of 4,000. So let's think that we have bought the price at 50,000. So actually this is for the 50,000. Okay. Now I will copy this and give a similar data, make a similar data for the ADA. So I will go here, change some value to ADA. Okay. So now this can be made to 50, and the value currently is, its value is 2.27. Okay. So I can think that I may consider that I have bought it in previous month at $2. Now this was about the coins that we are making. Now we need to remove our previous coins that we have built. This that is these one. Now we don't need these because we have a dictionary, and updated dictionary which has all the data that we actually wanted. So we need a comma here. Yeah, now it's okay. So this is our coins value that we have actually updated. Also here in the print statement, we need to add some formatting. For example, we can just do here value, and remember that we were actually searching in the dollars, in the USD. So we can use a USD symbol to print the value. So this was about our price that we were using. Now we will save it. And after this, what we are going to do, we are going to just add some more data here that we would be using. For example, our next concern will be how to calculate these values into the profit or loss that we wanted. Now you may consider, like you have bought these Bitcoins now and you want to use this data, means you want to compare this. For example, now it is price 50,000. and when you bought it was 50,000 and now the price is 54,000. So the total loss that you would be facing, or the total profit would be you would be facing, is equals to 10 into 50,000 plus, or you can subtract this 10 into 54,000 minus 10 into 50,000. So your profit would come out 4,867. So this is the value that we want for the one coin. So we will do it step by step for every coins that we wanted. For example, first we will make a variable that is the total paid. So here we will come down and make a variable total paid. So our total paid is actually the amount that we are having, the number of coins that we have, and the number of coin that we paid the value, that is the previous price. This is the price that we want. So all we need to do is go to the coin variable. Now here I will just enter the amount number that I have, that is amount number, and this amount number I will multiply it with the price. So you can just get it. So coin and price. So this variable actually gives me the detail about the total paid. So I can make a new variable here. It is the value. Now I am paying for an international market, so it would be, you can consider that the value would be in dollars. Copy this and paste it here. Okay, so this is the total paid and I will make it as total paid. Now this is the total paid value that I am having. Now coming to the second variable, to compare it, we need to make many variable the current value. So how much they are now. For example, if they were around 50,000, I paid per coin 50,000, it means total value would be about 5 lakh. But now these coins would be around, you can consider 5,40,000. So their current value is different from their previous value. So current value would be, you can say, coin amount number multiplied, and we need to multiply it with not the coin price but with the price that we are having, that is this. We need to multiply it with this price. So I will give it here. So this will again give me the total current value of the coins that I have. So I can consider here, and I will change the variable name to the current value. So this is the variable for the current value. Now I will make another variable, and that is the profit or loss that I am having with the coins. So profit loss, it would be per coin that I want to take out the value. So profit and loss per coin is nothing but the value, that is the difference in value. For example, this coin price, subtracting, you can say we will subtract this current value with the coin price. For example, if the current value is 54,000 and my price that I bought was 50,000, so their difference would give me the profit or loss that I am facing. So I will copy it and paste it here. So I will subtract it. So it will actually give me the profit or loss per coin. Now I will again make a new variable, add its description, and enter a profit loss value. So this will give me the profit loss value that actually I am getting. So this is why it is a planner, because it just gives you every detail or every required detail that you want for the comparison. See, for one coin, okay, you can do that comparison by your own. But if you are a crypto investor, and every crypto investor is not purchasing just a Bitcoin, they may start from a simple crypto coins, and those values can be just $2, and they may buy 50 coins, 100 coins. Then there may be 10 types of coins that they have bought. For example, there are different coins like ETH coins that we were using previously, and they may have bought that also 60 coins, this 50 coins, another 30 coins, then 20 coins. So we need a systematic terms that okay, when a user uses it, for every coin he may get, okay, this was the amount that he paid, this is the current value of the coins that he is having, this is the profit and loss per coin. Now what he need to do, just another variable is left, that is the total profit and loss. So we will total profit and loss per coin. So it will actually give the amount that he is facing. For example, the number sometimes may differ, like it's in decimal value and the numbers is 47 or 37. So these are difficult to calculate by your own. So all we need to do is profit loss per coin into, we need to multiply it with coin amount number. So we will take this variable, copy it, multiply it here and paste it. So this will give me the profit and loss value. Here. So total profit and loss value. Also we can just add something like total profit loss per coin, and you can also add here profit or loss per coin. So a user may identify, okay, what's going on here. So this is our variables. Now we need to declare a new variable, that is the total, and you can use a total paid value variable and make it equals to 0. So the total paid, now what is the total paid is actually the total profit that you are having with from all the coins. So you can just use this variables, Control C and copy it here. Again we will use this variable, that is the total paid, and copy it here. Okay, so now this, when this loop will be running, so it is outside the variable, this total paid will identify itself, and after this it will just show us the value. So we need to print it outside the loop to get the total value. Now again we will copy it and paste it here, and loss, and I will, instead of making per coin, I will make it all coins, and this will give me the value. So now I just need to use the function total profit. So it should be the total profit, and here also we need to change, that is total profit. Or to make it more understandable, I can just use PR underscore loss. So this is total profit or loss, because it's not that every time you will get the profit or loss, and we will make it as total profit and loss. So this total profit and loss variable will, which actually gives us the value that we want. So I will make it as total profit and loss. So now our function is completed, means we have made done the calculation part. We have made many functions, declared all the variables. We are just using them and trying to find out the values that all will be required here. So let's save it. Okay, so we have updated our coin symbol, means coin variable. Now this coins is a variable as a list. So when our coin, that is the another variable which is running for the for loop, it will just get inside to different list. For example, it will go to the list first element, then it will go to the list second element. So when we are inside our list first element, we need to use symbol to get the symbol for the BTC or for the ADA, that any coin you wanted. So we done it. Now we get back to the terminal, and if you get back to the terminal, we will run it. So here we go. And now you can see here all the variables that we wanted is actually here. For example, if you are a good planner and if you want to compare the values, then we need to just say which is giving us most profit. For example, if you could see that the value of the BTC is 54,000 in the current value, and the total paid amount is 50,000. So the current value is about 54,000. means we have multiplied with the number of coins we have, and now the profit or loss per coin we are facing is actually 4,948. And now again multiplied, you will get the total profit or loss that you have. Since the value is coming in positive, it means we are running in profit. So it is giving us the profit of 49,480. Similarly, total profit or loss per coin was 0.26, but now total profit or loss per coin is $13. So we have actually built something like it just give us the total amount that we are actually want to have. See there here the BTC we have 10 coins, so it's very difficult to it's very easy to calculate the values. And here also our value is in 50. So if you're a good calculator, you can just use it. But now let's go and edit some value. For example, here the price is 2. I will make it to 3. And here instead of BTC coin, I will just make it 5. I will convert that into 500. Now I will save it. I've changed some values on my own. Now I will check it, compare it with the current original value that we have. So now our total profit is 24,000. Our second coin ADA has actually given us a loss of $3,067, and Bitcoin has given us a profit of 24,510. So the total profit that we are having is 24,000. So if you are having a 10 coins, okay, you need just suddenly analyze it that which value is giving profit. For example, BTC is giving profit, AD is not giving profit, so you can sell it or just sell some amounts of coins. Some other is giving profit, you can just purchase them. So in this way a planner works, because it helps you to analyze all of a sudden. If you are having a large amount of data, you need to be very careful, because a single value, a single error could make you loss in hundreds of dollars. Thank you. We will continue in the next video about how to make a GUI application for this planner. Okay, so up till now we have discussed that how we are going to fetch the data, from where we are going to collect the data, how we are going to arrange the data. So we have done everything with the collecting and fetching part about the data. Now the second thing comes, how we will build the app. So a Python has an inbuilt dictionary, or you can say an inbuilt module with the name tkinter. So all we need to do is import the tkinter, and you should not be worried about installing it, because most of the Python, mostly in Python 3, the tkinter is come itself from with the Python module, Python file that you have installed. So there is no need to install it. But if you are using other than Python 3, maybe it Python 2.7 or 2.9, so then you need to install the tkinter. So all you need to do is just use the pip install command on your CMD and install tkinter there. And if you are using Python 3, then you already have that. So we are done with the installing the tkinter. So this module I will show you that how does the tkinter works, what different things we will be using here, and how we will be building our libraries. So for building an application, first we need a window that will appear here. So to create the window, just take a variable, any variable you want. I am taking the variable with the name coin, and assign the value of the tk. So take care that the t here is in caps but k is in small. So this is a short form of the tk, and it will give me all the functions to this variable coin. I can also add title to my window. Coin is coin.title, and since I am building a crypto coin planner, so I will give the same title, crypto coin planner. So here in this way you can just give a title to your window that will come here. So I will just show you that how does the windows work, so that it will be in the same manner like this widget or this application is working here. There will be a cross sign, minimization and a maximization sign on your window, and title will be displayed there. So again a new things comes up, that I need to how the main window will always be created or be visible to you. For example, if you have not written this line, that is the main loop, if you are not using this function from the tk, then your application which you have created, it will get dismissed. How does the main loop work? I am going to explain you that first, and after this we are going to finish it. So we will save it, go to the CMD. You can just use in your previous file that you have created. All you need to do is bring this everything inside a function, or another thing you can do, just comment everything. And I have taken a new file for a better understanding. So we will be exporting our data from the previous file to our new file. But before that, we will learn some basic about the tkinter. So when I will run this, okay, so now we are going to run the file. So you can see actually a window came, and this window has a title that I have given to it. If you have not given the title, it will show you a title by default. This icon is the by default tkinter provides this icon for us. This is the window, and this window is divided into a table. For example, there are so many columns here and there are so many rows here, and on every rows and columns we are going to add something. For example, there are labels. The first thing that the tkinter provides us, the first is the label. Again, it provides us something like, you can say, button, and there are 2 to 3 things more, but on every rows and columns we are going to use either a button or a label for our purpose. So first we will start building with the label. Now this was about the table, that how does the window is divided, and if you are not going to close this window, so it will keep running and our CMD file will just being running continuously. So it's like this file is running, and if this file is running, this window is displayed. And when I am going to end this file, so a new file comes to here. This was all about the tkinter. Now we are going to discuss about the main loop, that how does the main loop work. If you have ever done the programming, someone has told you that not to use this kind of code. For example, for I greater than 1 and I plus plus. So I have just written the algorithm. It's not with the any language, not related with any Python language or C language. This is just an algorithm that you have given a command to the computer while I is greater than 1, I plus plus. So you will go in an infinite loop, and this was always dangerous to go inside of infinite loop, because your system will stop working or your compiler will unable to interpret it. But actually in the tkinter we use this infinite loop for ourselves. The main loop that you are using here is actually the same infinite loop that is here. Just the condition is this, that here instead of I plus plus there is something like event dot true. So this is your main loop, and you can consider it like this, that event true, and here the while loop checks for the event, that if I is equals to true, and here it is I. So in this way the event work. Event is also an inbuilt function provided with the tkinter, but we are not going to go inside. I'm just going to explain you about the main loop. So this was your main loop, and this main loop is, you can consider this like this, and event is a function which is actually tracking your every activity that you are doing here. So when I will again run the command, so now the main loop is working, but the problem is that the event function is actually tracking my every activity that I am going this. For example, if I am expanding this file, it is taking it. I am clicking somewhere, it is just tracking that activity. I am going over there, like surfing over these buttons, it is tracking my activity. And when I will go to the statement close, so what this event will do, it will just make this true into a false. So I will get the value of the false and you will come out of the loop. But if you don't want to come out of the loop, it will not make it false. So you can consider that how does the main loop works. Actually, it's like an infinite loop, just going on, running itself until you have not stopped it. But if you are going to use this infinite loop in a simple code, it will not work there. It works especially for the tkinter files where you actually need the infinite loop. So this was the main loop that we have done. Now the new things comes, how we are going to design our things. I have told you earlier that tkinter is divided into labels and buttons. So now we will define a label. For example, you can define name is equals to label. We will use the function label, and label is actually used to display the text or the images. For example, in the window If you wanted to display some text, like here, if I wanted to display a text here, for example on this side, if this is a table, then on 0 comma 0, that is row 0 column 0, I wanted to display some text or images, label will help me to do that. And if I wanted to give a button, button function will help me to do that. So currently I am using my label function to give a text. So we are going to use label, and after the label we will give our the tk, but the tk instance, because this function that you give to a variable is actually called the instance, and it is this instance which is showing you. So when you will go here, and you can see this is actually an instance which is running inside an infinite loop. So, and if a event close or happens, then this instance returns back to its original position, means it just stop running. So this is a coin, and I have given its instance of, I made it an instance by assigning it a tk function. Now I am giving this instance to this label, so that label may actually know that where it has to assign itself. So this was our the coin. Then I will give the text. Currently we were building a crypto coin file. So here our first coin was BTC. So I will give the code BTC. So this will be my text here, and then I will give background color. So I will give a background color. You can say, you can just take any color. I am using a yellow color, and after this I will also give the font color, that on with which color the font will be displayed to me. After BG I will give the font color with the name FG. Labels has also so many functions with it, like there are word wraps and how does the text displays, even the font styles are available. If you want, you can try those, but currently I am just wanted to show you, so I am not working with the designing bar. Now I am going to define a grid. So a grid is actually defined so that I may arrange my variable, that where does it lie. For example, I want it to be on the row 0 and column 0. There is also one more function, that is the peg, but we are not going to work with that peg because it does not offer us this row comma 0 or column comma 0. Now I will save this file, again get back here, close it, and rerun the function. Okay, so actually there is a white color that is written here BTC, but you are not able to watch it, so I will make it black so that it may easily available to you. So now I'm going to do it black, because due to yellow color it was not visible to us. I will close it and again run the function. Now you can clearly see that the BTC is came here because we have given it a 0 comma 0. So at 0 comma 0 table we got a label, and label is actually used to display text or images. So in this way we have displayed our text. We will be working on different fields. First we will define our header section. We are designing a crypto coin planner, so there should be everything, like here should be a name, then after the name there should be other things like the current value, the previous value, the coin value, the profit, the loss, everything should be arranged here. So we are just going to give the name, or you can say the header section. We are going to define the header section. So I will make it BTC name. Now this text will be displayed to me. I'm going to close it, and then you can copy it, because now also the yellow color don't show so much, so I will, instead of yellow I can use here blue, and we will keep changing the color, that whichever color suits us we will use that. Now I'm going to copy this, and we need many functions that are required. So I will go back here and just check every function that are used here. For example, my first function was the symbol, so that will be the name of the coin. So here I am using the name of the coin because I will display it with the name, and after name comes the second thing, that the current value of the coin. So I will give here the name current value. Now you can see after the symbol, the current value came, and the current value is the actually the value that is currently working. And after this value function, there is another name that we are using, that is the total paid. So total paid actually is the amount that we have paid previously for those value, or you can say previously when we have purchased those amount. So we will make it as, okay, I will just change this variable name. I will make it current underscore value, and again copy it back to here. So now we will get down and copy it and arrange another thing, that is the different thing that we were using. So our next value is, I will give 2 to 3 times so that I can directly write those. Now we will come back. We have done with the current value. We will just check what is the total paid amount. So total paid actually is the amount that we have paid earlier. So I will make it as total paid. So here is the total paid. And now coming back here, after the total paid, we have done with the value, and we have done with the current value. So we want the value, we are left with the value. So I am going to give them the value. Here comes the value. After this, our next variable comes, and that is the profit loss per coin. So I will give them profit loss per coin. After profit loss per coin, here comes the total profit and loss. So next will be the total profit and loss. I'm going to copy this, now paste it here, and here all I need to write is total. So we have done with we have defined our variables. Then we need to just change here. So instead of writing, I can just define any variables. These are just variables. So currently I will give them as name 2, and here comes the name 3, here comes the name 4, and here comes the name 5. Now I am going to save them. Again come back to the command prompt and check whether the header is actually being visible to us or not. Okay. Okay, so we were left actually with the one thing. We need to update also the row 0 and column. So column 1, since we have not updated, so every value came on the 0 column, and we were actually seeing the last value, that is the total profit and loss, because they just overlapped each other. So I am going to update them. Now we will save the file, go back, close this window, and use it. After designing the header function, we will actually going to design it, and you can see we got all the values that we wanted. That is the name, the current value, the total paid value, profit and loss per coin, total profit and loss per coin. So we have given everything that we were needed here. We have just made the header file, and I will also change this color so that it would look more attractive. And I will also make entries, or we will design the entries for the different sections, like how does the entries will come row by row. So all we need to complete all this. So keep watching the video. So hello everyone, we have designed our panel, that how does our apps look like. Now we need to do some designing work, means we need to make it better. For example, if you would come here, and I will run my program to show you the difference. So I will run here tk coin.py. So this was actually the code that I have made only to show you how does the tkinter works and to design the header. So here you can see that we have a first line of code here, but if I will copy paste it and design a new one, for example, if I would just copy it and again paste it, now all I need to do is change the row here. So I will change the row from row to row 1, so that you may get a basic idea that what's happening here and why I am asking to do this. Now also I will change this. For example, I will remove some text and make it smaller than the previous one, and now I will save it, again run it. So we need to close our tag. So we were discussing about the designing, and to design thing, I just wanted to show you that why some difference is coming here. For example, if you will look at it, then you will find a difference. See, this difference I was talking about. Here the space is not full, and we need to make it, means here that content was same for name and name. This was not edited, but here I have edited the total current value, and you can see some blank space comes up here. So this is the reason that we need to add something here called the sticky function, which is a function of a grid. So if you would come here, you can see I have added here something called the sticky, and I have given the direction that north, south, east and west. So these are the 4 directions, and it will just stick down. The whole value will come together. Also, this is not our primary working window, means we don't need to work here. So we need to work in our crypto coin file that we were creating earlier, or the basic file that you have created. Just do one thing, copy paste your whole file that you have done here and bring it inside a function. I have given the name function data. So my function name is actually the data, and you can import your libraries, keep it same it is. Then this text will be the same, since we have earlier taken a variable .coin in our dictionary. So I have changed the variable name to coin_planner. So I have changed this variable name. My tk instance variable name is changed, and everything rest the same. I have also called the function here. Now all you need to do is paste all your name or the header file that you have created here on this page. Now when you have done this, you need to come up again, paste the same header file on this page. Now you are done with it. You can give a comment here. For example, I have commented it and pasted it here so that we can save our time. And so we are having a 2 header files, 2 label files. The first one is this one, that was the previous one. Everything remains as it is. Just consider it as a value x. So this is consider it as a value x. Everything I have pasted x here, copied pasted here, copy paste it here, comment this print functions, comment everything. Now take this print value, that is the API print, and paste it here on the text thing, so that your function will be used here as an input, not the text you wanted to use, because we want the next row downside our header file so that our content or our data would be displayed. You will face another issue. You need to change your row 1 to display this, so that overlapping does not occur. Then again you need to do make it row 2 for the second loop, again row 3 for the third loop. So there are 2 things we can do. We cannot use this I variable because we don't know that whether in which range our coins is there. For example, our coin matches to the symbol that we want. So all we need to do is declare a variable here, row 1, and make it value equal to 1. So that 0 row is for the header file that we have given, or header row. So we need to start with 1 and paste your row 1 here. So this is the way you can arrange your tk file that you have created back to here, or you can rewrite the code again. If it's very easy, just you need to copy paste and change the variable name. Variable name we have already defined earlier, so we need not to mention it again in this video. Now we have done with it. Now I'm going to show you how does it work, how does this works. And also take care that you have mentioned the sticky here, because you will get in this unwanted white spaces or the default spacing, which I don't think you would want on your C. So we will run it. And you can see we don't have any white spacing here, because previously if this space would not come there, a white space would have come, and we have the data of the 2 which we have collected directly. So our data is not coming on this one, but it is coming it's not coming on the command, but it's coming on here. And we have actually left one variable, that is the total profit and loss. We will add it earlier when we will design it. Now let's get to the designing word, that how we are going to design our file. So first I will design the header. For example, I have made this alternative color, that is the I have made this alternative color, that is the yellow green, so that you may be able to understand correctly. Now I have given here a name, that is the yellow. You can also give here a color name. For example, if you would go to the Chrome and take any color code that you wanted, for example this is army green, I will copy it, come back here and give this code which I have copied. So you can search your color. There are different color codes available on the Chrome. All you need to do, just copy it, which color you wanted for your designing, and you can paste it here. Also, instead of green, I will just give another color. So here I can find it aquamarine. I will copy it, get back here, and I will give this one instead of green color. So these color codes are actually very specific. For example, there are different types of green colors available. So it's which green, a light green, a dark green, we cannot mention it. But when we give a color code as an input, then it's very easy to define it. You can also give RGB code, that is here. So this one is your RGB code, but we will give it in the form of a color code or hexadecimal code. Now we will come back, we will save it, and first stop this file, again come back. Now I will run this file. So you can see that the color codes are visible here. The first one is actually the army green, or it's a bit gray, you can say, and this one is the color that we are using, that is the aquamarine color. Now I will keep differentiated it here because it's easy to look at the table that I wanted. Now let's come back to the next thing that I wanted to give. For example, I need to define my font in bold. So what I need to do here is just give a function or use a function, that is the bold font. Now here I can give the heading or the font style that I wanted. For example, if you could come, this is Arial which we have used earlier, or we have worked upon it. You can just choose anything that you wanted. For example, I am using this font, that is the Arial font. So I will give here the Arial font. Now after Arial, I will give the size, that is the 12, or since we are working with the header, I can make it as 14. Now I can give a function, use it, that is bold. You can also use indentation here. For example, if you can just write indentation and it will work, but I am only using a bold one. Now after this, I wanted to give a padding here. So what is the padding? See, there are two things which works with us. For example, this is margin. We don't have any margin here. If we would be having a space, then it would have called a margin. For example, if I would open it, you can see this is my margin. If nothing is written here, this is called a margin. Or the thing which we are writing out here, this is called the margin. This space is called the margin. But suddenly if a space comes here, which we called give a tab, so this is called a padding, means the space inside the text where you want. So I want a padding, a space inside them, not a margin but a padding. So that is why I will give a padding, and it is given for the padding X also and for the padding Y also. It's not compulsory that we want padding from all the four sides. So you can choose if you don't want to give on the y-axis or on the x-axis, you can decide it. So I'm going to give here the padding y. After this, I also want a border. So you can use just directly your border by giving its width, that which border width you want. Because by default a border width is 0, so I am giving here the border width 2. Now I will also use the relief function and use it as group. All I need to do is copy paste it on my other one. So I will copy it and paste it here. See, it's not compulsory that you want an alternative color. You can choose a single color if it's sufficient to you, but to make the tables or make the columns visible, I am using an alternative color because they are easy to differentiate. So we are done with the editing. We have only edited our header and we have not edited our editing part, that is for the values or the data part, is left. So next we will edit that. Now you can see the name is changed. They are visible in the bold. Also I have given the Arial, and you can see here that there is the border between them. The border width is too low, so I'm going to increase it. There is also a padding, but it's not visible to us, so I am going to increase my padding and the row. So first I will increase the border width and make it 4. So my border width will be 4. Also I just wanted to use one color, because if it's visible, it's easily, we can, if we are able to easily differentiate between them, then it's better to use a single color, because that's look more nice. So here you can see that the border has increased some bit, and also our values were in bold. So now I am going to use a single color code. For example, I will use this one. Also I will make this in caps. Okay, so I will use a single color only instead of army green color, because now I can, it's written in the bold and I can easily differentiate. So I will come back and now we will run it. So now you can see that it's in a single color, but since they are actually divided with the border and with the padding, so I think they are visible to us more clearly or easily. Now after this, it's done for the data value that we have given here. So we will go back, go to the data one and use it. For data, I think if you have worked with the Excel sheet or somewhere the data planner, if you have seen them, I would have seen them in a black and white pattern. Means everyone just want a black and white. Nobody wants any extra color. So I will be giving everything just the same, but make the color as white. So I will copy it, go to the upside, my labels one, and paste it. So here everything is there. Just I will decrease the border width. Now I will use it the same, and just I will change the background color and I will make it as white. Since we are having a black bold color for the font color, so it's better that the we can directly use the white color, because now everything is visible due to the border and the padding. So we will just add it here. So you can even add many more features which you want. All you need to do is just go document. You can go to the Python documentation which mentions about this, and there are so many options visible here. You can add many more options which you want, like you can increase the border, you can design the border, you can change the font according to your side. So it's up to you that how much designing work do you want. So we need to cover the video. One is our application, so I am not going deeper into the designing. Okay, so somewhere BG is repeated. Yeah. Now we are done with the designing. After designing, what we need to do is update some values. I will also tell you that how you can update your values if you want to do that. I will make this as white. And because in Excel the data is more better. For example, black and white works very well, and people like to watch in black and white format because they are usually numbers, and no one wants to watch it on anything else. Okay, so now I will save it and edit this one also. Now we are going to run and confirm that the settings which we have given is actually working or not, means they are applicable, or if we want something else. So here you can see our values are being added here, and our header is in the aquamarine color that we were actually using, and everything came. Now for example, I will explain you that how you can add anything, any label that you wanted. I have added you earlier also, but now in front of you again. So if you would see here that this total profit and loss comes outside, so what I need to do, just declare a new name. I will add here Control C and paste it here. Now the value that I am using here, you can just copy it. You can just copy it and paste it on your text that you were using. So I will paste it here and change the name of the function. For example, now it's actually showing me the text. It will show me the text. I need to just change the column, since it is always declared on the row and no more rows are there. So I need to bring it on the row, downside the row. You can also go next column, but that would not look attractive. So we will bring it inside the column 5, because our column 5 gives us the value of the total profit and loss. So our total profit and loss will be visible there. I will save it. You can come back here. I will remove it. And run it. So here you can see the total profit and come loss, means after subtracting this value from this one, you get the total value. So it looks more systematic because we are having a total profit loss per coin, and now this is our actually the summation of all the profit and losses. So in the next video we are going to tell you that how you can update your data, how you can even increase your coins. For example, if you want more coins here, how we will add those data. You just need to change the limits. It's better to, instead of limit 5, you can take a limit 300, because there are 300 coins available on our website, coinmarket.cap. So we will make it 300. Now we are finished with the designing work. We need to add some buttons here, like the update buttons, because the data is updated in every 5 minutes. So it may change the value, and if you are not working with the latest data, you may suffer your data loss or big loss. So thank you. So again, we have made something very interesting and wonderful, because it just takes the values, fetch the data, present it on your required as per your required columns, or the information that you want as per your arrangement, according to your satisfaction. It just brings all your data. Now if I will search it back and get back my T-Enter page, so you can see there is a loss and there is a profit. If there are 100 values, for example, let's add some values first. So we need to go to Chrome. Here I will say I am going to search this page, that is the coin market application, and add more fields here. For example, I will just copy paste here and get back down, paste it, again paste it. Now we are going to add some more data here. And then what I need to tell you, that if there is a profit or there is a loss in this page, for example, here is a loss and here is the data, and there are tens of pages. So you may miss sometimes this loss sign, that okay, there was a loss, but I was not able to identify here because I was in a hurry. So we need to highlight this color. Means if this is going in loss, we need to make it look red, because red is a sign for the danger. And if it's profit, we will make it highlight that also, so that it may look in green, because green is a sign for the go. So it's about green and red color that we wanted to add, but if the values are changed, because every time it will not remain in loss, every time it will be not remain in green. So we need to update them. Now first I will go and fetch some more data. So we will go back to here, coin, market cap, and just add some more bitcoins and add them to our data field in our dictionary that we are searching. So here you can see that various bitcoins are available. For example, there was ETH, ADA. We will just take BNB and USDT. So I will change name from BTC to BNB, and next one will be the USDT. Okay, the next one was the USDT. Now we are going to add them. USDT. Now the price actually at which we bought, we will change them. Instead of 50,000, I will make them as 500, and the number of coins will be different. This would be 8 and this will be 12. So we have some more bitcoins. Also, I need to make my limit more than 5, because every time this site here, it just gets shuffled, means the identity changes. For example, if Bitcoin is on number 1 because it is running best and ETH is next to it, but it may happen that ADA may come up and ETH may go down, or if ETH has suffered a huge loss, it may go back to the 9th or 10th position. So we need to search all the things. So our limit will be 300, and this time here on the range, instead of 0 to 5, it will be 0 to 300. So it will search for whole bitcoins, all the bitcoins that are available. Now our dictionary is updated. Next thing, we were talking about how to add color. Actually, Tkinter provides a very good thing, that it is not compulsory that you always need to mention the text like it is white or it is cool. You can even give functions here, and like you have given functions on the text field here, on the text variable, we have not written the name or the data that we wanted. We are just calling our function. The value which we have used here, we are calling that. So similarly, we can also call the functions. Now we need to decide where we want to add the values. I just want to add values on total profit and loss per coin and on this one. So I will just define a function. I will go and define a new function, that is define color profit loss. So my function name is define color profit loss, and I will give a variable that is the amount. So this is a parameter because we need to pass the value here. Now the next thing that we are going to add, that if AMT is greater than equals to 0, the we need to return. So we were using two colors that were green and red. If you want to highlight any different color, you can use color codes, and if you want, you can use RGB codes, and you can use this one also. It's pretty simple. Now we will use a different color, that if it is going in loss, means that is the else, the value is negative, we will use red. So we have defined our color function. Now I will get back down here. So I need to add here, that is the font color that I wanted to give for my total profit and loss. So here you can see that this is the total profit and loss, the last row that we were talking about. So this was the total profit and loss, and this was the total profit and loss per coin. So we need to give color to both of them. For example, instead of black, I will just call my function, that is color, and function will be profit and loss. Now I need to give the parameter. My parameter will be total profit and loss of the coin. But remember, you need to convert this value into a float or int. Whenever you call a function and you are passing it to another function, always convert it, because Python by default uses a string. So we need to make it float so that it may work, or it may give the value as a float. Otherwise, in if else statement, it will be very difficult to you to convert to compare the string. So by default, or on our first step only, we will convert the default string function or the values to the required values, that is the float value. So we have designed our function. Now we will save it and check it. So first of all, we need to close it, then come back here. We will run it again, and you can see we are actually having a 3 values in negative, means our total profit was in loss. We are running in loss because I have initially assigned them a values which was not very good, means they were just random values that I have given them, and those values were 500, 500. So they have affected my total amount because they are these cryptocurrencies are really huge. So my total or net profit came out to be in loss, that is the 19,000. Okay, so here we don't want this one. I will remove it. Now we will save it. Okay, so now I will save it, close this tab. Now I'm going to change some values or change some data. So here, if it 8, I will make it as 18. Now I will save it, again get back. Okay, so total, yeah. So here the variable is not complete, it's total profit and loss. Okay, now I will save it. I will get back, again run the tab, and now this time I have given another data. So it's in green and every value was in negative. Now we also need to update this value. For example, if you are just viewing this and after 1 hour, the same result will appear to you. The reason is that API, the site that is the coin site, market coin, which we are using, you can see this coin market cap website updates its data, or the API gets updated in simple words in every 5 minutes. So you need to wait for 5 minutes to get the updated value. For example, if I will again run this code, so a different value come to me. For example, if it is currently 14,783 and after 5 minutes I will run it, it may get some, this value may get some bit affected. For example, it may just change with a significant amount, the decimal values will change. You can see there the different values are getting updated every time, but our API will only get updated after 5 minutes. So the values is constantly changing, and we also need to make a update button so that we need to again delete the values and run it. So every time closing the file, running the file is not a very good way. We need to add an update button. So to add an update button, we have to take a different variable with the name button. See, buttons work differently than the other one, label one, because they are a clickable button, so they have different functionality. So first of all, I will come down and make my variable, the variable which I am using. For example, here, this variable API JSON, actually it has all the data in it. So what I need to do, I need to delete this data. I need to make this data again to 0. So if this is our for loop and we have run it, now after running the function, we need to change it back to something, you can say 0. So if this is my data, I will give a tab and I will make my value to null string. So this is a null string, means after running the loop, my value is erased or my data is erased back to nothing or to null. And all I need to do is just change this function to a new function. For example, empty double string, but now we need to make a update button. So to make a button, we can just copy it and paste it here on the update button. I'm going to paste it here, but it's better that we may paste it on the upside, because the data value is null, means the API JSON which has all the data is null. Now all we need to do is define a new variable. So I am going to get this, copy it and paste it here. Now I will paste it again. Then after this label will be changed to the button, because now we want a button, and buttons are some executable file. You can say it's not a file, but actually it works like a button, means the executor runs some command. So the text will be the update. It will be for the update because we are creating update button, so it will be visible to us. After the text, we need to give a new function, that is command. So all we need to give a command, and our command will be to call a function called data. And if you would remember, our data is actually the function that we are running inside. So this is not a recursion, but what will happen, you have executed once the data was called initially when we have given, and after this it has loaded the data, it has given you the values, all the files were running, and then suddenly you have clicked on the button and given a command that is the for the data. So if you have clicked on this button, means all your data was which was previously, it is now gone, means your API JSON has nothing to show you. So it will get back to the data function, it will call the data again, it will load all the values and again show it to you. So all we need to do is run our file to check it. So here we go. We need to run our file. So we'll check it back. And now wait for the tkinter to process. Okay, so our file was basically not saved. So we will first save our file. Now get back here on the command prompt. And run our file back. So this time a new window will come, but what's the problem with this update button, that it actually only works for the 5 minutes, means you should have a difference of a 5-minute duration, because we are using a API key. So our API key, okay, key error data. So we don't need to give this parameter, because when you just write the command, it automatically call the function and the function runs. So we need to remove that. Now again we will run, and you can see we got the update button. But if you will click on it directly, nothing will going to happen. The reason is that the update button works after 5 minutes. So you need to wait for the 5 minutes to make it happen something, means to get some changes. So if you are making this, just wait for the 5 minutes, check the data, your value, this total profit and loss per coin value will be changed, because in few seconds only the values get updated on the website. So you may just be able to see some difference. Now nothing happens. See, the value was changed. It was 15,022 and previously it was something else. So again, if I try to click it, the value get changes, but it takes minimum 15 minutes of time to get updated. So this was all about the update work or update function. We have successfully made our planner. If you want to add something on your demand, means you want to just see different things. For example, if you wanted to see the number of amount owned, so all you need to just make a new column, add the column, add first in the header file value for the amount owned, then make a function or add a new row and pass the value of the amount owned on the text field, and then you will be able to see your amount owned. So it's up to you that how you design your planner. It's on your basis. There are so many coins available, so we can just do anything. So congratulations first of all that you have successfully built your GUI coin planner. Means it is a crypto coin planner, and if you are investing in a crypto coin and wanted to make your table or just keep it on some specific file, you can keep it here and maintain your data. Thank you.